Ooh, blah, 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 blah. Hello everyone, I feel like it's been such a long time since I've done a reading vlog, so we're at it again. I did mention one of my other videos, but if you're curious about where my Read English vlog is, it's not happening because your girl read 2 pages, not 2 books, not 2 chapters, not even 2 sentences. Wait, no, it would have been 2 sentences. Just 2 pages, not a lot. I felt the pressure, and honestly it was really hectic at work. It was the first week back at term, so I just scrapped it. That put me in a bit of a reading slump for the next week, but I am really excited to keep going. So my current read is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I am about 200 pages in, making notes. I want to do a dedicated video review on this book because I've seen it everywhere and it is so hyped up. I'm going to start a new series, methinks. You'll see what's happening in my brain when the video comes out. But for now, it is just gone 1 o'clock. I've not been filming anything this morning because honestly, it's just been a work Sunday morning for me. But now I'm off to go get some snacks and sit down, and I want to finish this today if possible. If you're wondering what other books I have on my current TBR, they are the leftover ones from when I did the Reading Rush Vlog#. Is my TBR. The ones I have left from that are the Switcher book, Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1984, and Frankly in Love. But also, I've got to show you, things have changed around in home since you last saw. We have a new couch, courtesy of the boyfriend's parents. Thanks guys, it's so comfy. I can just, you know, let me do a whole, it's got like a U shape. So I can like lay down. I don't know what I'm doing with this finger. I can lay down and it is so comfortable. And then also, if you've seen my recent bookshelf organisation, I have a new shelf because I went crazy shopping. Sorry, I've got the washing in here to dry. So this entire 2x8 bookshelf are all of the books I own now that I haven't read, as well as there are a few up here I haven't read. For example, if I go up top, I haven't read the Aragon ones. I haven't read all of my poetry. I'm trying to think if there's any more. No, I think that's it. So the rest of them are over here. So I've got lots of reading to do, and honestly I'm super excited. But for now, let's go get some snacks. Okay, so went and got some snacks. So you know what that means. Snack. So we have nacho cheese flavoured pork crackling noodle crisps, pretzels, peanuts and chunky nuggets. No idea what that's going to be like. We have some Doritos. We have some biscuits. We have a massive white chocolate Toblerone with honey and almond nougat. We have a cute little mini Toblerone. We have fruit bars times 5. A pack of Oreos. What did you get, Reese? Chocolate, nougat, nuts and caramel.
Protein bar.
Oh, is it a protein bar? Okay, some protein bar thingies. I got a couple of real iced teas with like citrus in it. I just wanted to try it. We have 10 variations of essentially zombie chews because they were 5 for $1. And lastly, another like canned iced tea drink just because I wanted to try it. It was disgusting. Do not write. Don't buy it. Don't consume it. And I should also mention that I picked up Don't Call the Wolf by Alexandra Ross from the library. I've had this on hold so that as soon as it was published in the library, got a copy, I nabbed it. So hopefully when I do my next Will Choose as my TBR, some spin prompt will let me read this one. If you're curious about what it's about, we have 2 main characters. The first one is Wren, who was abandoned by people and was like brought up by lynxes in the forest, and she has essentially grown up to become the forest queen. And then the other character is Lucas's, Lukaszz, and there were like 10 dragon slayers, and Lucas's is the last one of them, and him and Wren join forces as they try to slay the dragon, and the dragon is this beast that's descended upon the castle and kind of brought havoc to everyone. So it just sounds like a really cool classic fairy tale forest queen potential love story, and also the cover is really pretty. But for now, I'm going to keep on with this one. Alright, so it is bang on 6 o'clock and I have just finished the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'll go into a way more in-depth review in a different video, but just to summarise, essentially, I thought that it was a really unique book in that it came from a different perspective to one that I've personally read about before, and the way vampires are described in this is unique as well, in that I've never seen, let's just say, how they feast on people done in this way. Massive trigger warnings though, for rape of adult women as well as children, purposeful overdosing, lots and lots of blood, and just human body stuff, as well as cheating. The last 100 pages especially are rife with that sort of content, so definitely for mature readers only. Yeah, those last 100 pages really shocked me, and to be honest, they were my favourite pages of the book. The first 3/4 was a little bit slow, but the last 100 made me feel excited about what was happening in the book again, but it was only, you know, a quarter, which is why it was the extra 0.5 there. So when I picked up the vampire book, that was for the prompt latest TBR, and so I'm replacing that one with contemporary. And unfamiliar author, okay. I am going to go for Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is by Truman Capote. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And my other options are George Orwell one, and I've read from George Orwell before. I read his Animal Farm. I had Frankly in Love, and honestly I'm saving that one for a book club I'm doing with my students tomorrow. And then I have the Witcher one, but honestly I just feel like getting this one done so I can return it to Mum. I realised I never showed you guys that I got this from good old Kmart, where else it's like one of those things that you put the letters in. I just filmed my mid-year freak out tag, yes, like 2 months too late. But down the bottom I have a 2020 book count. I need to change that, and then I'm going to add a little summit to it. So time lapse ensue. Morning all. I'm just sitting down doing my makeup for work, and I thought I'd talk about Breakfast at Tiffany's because your girl finished it last night. So I have to give big props to Capote. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Thanks Fee for letting me know. His pace in this book was so well done. The whole story is meant to be like a glimpse into Holly's life, and that's what he gives you. It carries you along, like you just can't keep going. It's like a wave that just keeps pushing you to shore and you can't get off it. In terms of the rest of the characters and the cast of people, I thought they were all done really well. The story is told through Fred, and he's the guy that lives upstairs or downstairs to Holly, and he's essentially a stay-at-home aspiring story writer, journalist. Author's the word you're looking for, Bethany. And it's really cool also seeing things from his perspective, because it adds to the whole looking in at a glimpse of Holly's life. In terms of other aspects of the book, I guess because it's only 100 pages long, the world building wasn't as strong, and maybe the what's the word I'm looking for here? The imagery just wasn't as vibrant as it could be. I gave it 4 stars. I dropped it a star, not necessarily because of the lack of world building or anything, more because there was just something about it where I couldn't give it the full 5 stars. I'm trying to be really good and keeping 5 stars for books that really wow me. And although I loved this one a lot more than I anticipated, it definitely didn't get to the 5-star level for me. Alright, good enough. Let's go get some food and spin the wheel to see which one I'm reading next. So I finished that, which means gets replaced with thriller and horror. And that was a low-key bad spin, but I'm just going to have to spin again anyway because none of those are loved authors. Okay, lowest rated. I can figure this out. Alright, the book with the lowest rating out of those three on my shelf is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. It had 3.81 stars out of 5. Hey team, so it is 5:30 and I've been home for about half an hour. I've just been putting everyone's names into my giveaway spreadsheet and I have so many new ones. There's like 5 a sheet and I've got 6 sheets here, plus I just got like another 10. So the next Wheel Chooses My TBR video is going to be so much fun. Okay, so I have just finished part 1 of 4 of the book, page 88, and honestly, the anger I feel towards like Frank's mum and dad is insane. So essentially, some backstory, we have Frank, who's an American Korean. He's first generation, so he was the first one of his family born in America, and his parents won't let him date anyone that isn't also Korean. And then there is Joy, who's in the same boat, and so Joy and Frank pretend to date each other so that they can go on dates with like the actual partners who aren't Korean. Joy's boyfriend is American Chinese and Frank's girlfriend is white American, and the parents are so racist in this. It gets me so mad, and like that's good because I think that's kind of the point in this book, but oh my gosh, there's some times where you just want to like yell at Frank's parents. We'll see how it goes, but for the meantime it seems like a really good book to have conversations around mixed race and cultural ideas and parents who are really oppressive, who force their ideals upon you, and the idea that even if you're like a teenager, you're still your own person and you still have your own values and way you want to live your life. So I'm sitting here and I'm about 150 pages in with my snacks, and honestly this book is like low-key giving me anxiety, so I don't think this is a spoiler at all. Frank essentially, as you know, is pretending to be with Joy so that the parents don't get mad at each of them for dating a non-Korean person, but the thing is he's hiding it from his girlfriend, and I'm just waiting for her to find out and be so mad at him, or just for all of it to just hit the fan. Nah. So it's just gone 9:30. I've had dinner and all of that, but I'm up to page 272 of Frankly in Love, which means I've got about a third to go, and genuinely loving it / loved it, because I've reached a point now where I'm like, isn't the story over? Like, the stuff has happened, things have gone down, and there is a love triangle that has seemingly been resolved, but there's another 130 pages to go, so I'm like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. I interrupted my reading because I got a notification on my emails. I'm so excited. Penguin Random House New Zealand have given me an e-arc of Breathless. This is written by Jennifer Neven, and other work of hers that you may be familiar with are All the Bright Places and Holding Up the Universe. Personally, I haven't read either of these, but I've heard lots of good things about them. So the premise of this book is that we have our main character called Claudine, and in the last summer before college, her and her mum go to a remote island off the Georgia coast, and essentially it is a young adult contemporary romance where during that summer on that remote island, it's like a summer fling kind of story, and it sounds like it might be a reminiscence of the past because it says the line, I don't want to forget you, but most of all I don't want you to forget me. So it just sounds like a classic little high school age era romance, and I cannot be down for this more. I am so in the mood for some sappy stuff. Oh, okay, so I'm back from school. I had a meeting, so it is now 20 to 5, and I'm going to reward myself for surviving 3 days of this week by going and picking up Midnight Sun. This is obviously the new Marissa Meyer book for the Twilight series, and I am really excited for it. I actually thought it came out Saturday, but nope, it came out yesterday, so I'm gonna go see if Warehouse has a copy. But before I go do that, I finished Frankly in Love last night, and overall I'm giving it a 4.5 stars. Just going over my Powers rating. For pace, I gave it 8, for people 10, for originality 8, for world building 6, for my general enjoyment 8, for the relationships 8, and for the writing style 8. I really liked this book. I think the way that race is discussed and talked about, especially obviously from the main perspective of Korean Americans, was really original. I hadn't read anything like that before, and it was done in a way that was really I think modern and realistic. It didn't seem like a traditional take on a conversation around race. But honestly, I just can't make it 5 stars because I got to about like that 260, 300 page mark where I talked to you guys. You would have just seen that. And the last 100 pages was important, but felt like it was almost from a different book. So you get to page 300 and it's kind of like the main conflict, the main conversation point, you know, the character story is finished, wrapped up. I would be happy with it ending there, and then it just had to keep going. So understandably questions were answered, but those loose ends could have been tied up quicker or even in the first 300 pages to begin with. And the book was a bit predictable, especially when it comes to the friend Q. If you've read this, I don't know about you guys, but I saw that coming a mile away. I'm not going to do a spin the wheel because I've only got the 2 books left, and I actually put it to an Instagram poll, and the book that won was 1984. So this is an adult sci-fi that is Ariel Bissett's favourite book in the world, which is the whole reason it's on my TBR to begin with. And also I have read George Orwell's Animal Famine like that, so I'm really intrigued to see what he does with this sort of a story. But let's go see if I can get my hands on a copy of Midnight Sun. I don't know, but it's way bigger than I imagined. Look how thick it is. All right, adding that to my pile. So I just finished filming episode 7 of Vlog#. This is my TBR. Here is a sneak peek of the massive stack of books. Not even a stack of books, just the pages. Look how thick they are. Oh my gosh. Keep tuned for that video because I don't know how I'm going to get through all these. I mean, I will eventually. This is why I don't do monthly TBR videos, because I feel real constrained by the months, and instead of actually reading the books I want to read, I just put them back on the shelf because I feel so much pressure. But either way, everything's filmed for that. But for the rest of the evening, I'm going to chill and start reading 1984. Itchy forehead. Hey team, so it is Thursday and it is 4 o'clock. I managed to get home from work in decent time. And reading update, I'll be honest, I actually haven't made a start on this. I was just binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh my God, I love that show so much. And then also just making sure all of my YouTube videos were scheduled properly. And right now I'm going to make a start, and then in about 45 minutes, I'm going to go to the hairdressers. I know last time I did a reading vlog, I went like kind of purple, but I really miss my pink. My hairdresser's gonna hate me because she worked so hard to get the like pink out. But I'm gonna try and see if she'll let me go pink again. Well, she'll let me. It's my hair, but I'm gonna go pastel pink, fingers crossed. Ooh, blah 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 blah. Hey team, so I realised I never did an update. I'm pink again. Here we are. It is Friday at 4:15, so my work week is over and I'm so excited to dedicate like 2 and a bit days to just straight up reading. Now, let me be honest with you and real for a second. You last saw me trying to start 1984 and it's just not been happening. I'm not going to DNF it because honestly I really want to read it because of it being Ariel's fave, and also I'm pretty sure it's one of the scratch offs on my this poster thing. Yeah, in fact it is, that's it there. But my issue is this. I'm just not getting into it, so I'm gonna put it down on my shelf for now. Good job, it's actually a copy I'm borrowing from my mum, so I don't have like a library rush on it. I'm just gonna start this one. Also, it's a bit shorter and I'm just more excited to read this rather than the 1984 one. So thanks for voting on 1984, but your girl's just not getting into it. So as you saw from that like tiny clip, I went and saw a musical. It was a musical version of Sister Act, and honestly it was so good. It's the first musical I've seen, like live action, in years and years and years. I remember when I was a little girl, my mum used to take me to the Village Hall and we would watch plays there, so it was a very nostalgic moment for me. But it's 11 o'clock now and I'm just winding down. I've just finished the first, I'm going to call it a short story of the book. So they're all chronologically ordered and each one is about 30 pages. And yes, they're short stories, but they are all linked just in the fact that they are all following Geralt, and they are jumping in time settings by like a few months or a few weeks each time. So far, at least, I'm only the beginning of the way in. And in terms of the TV show, the adaptation of it from the book, I think, has been done pretty well. The short story I've read already is an episode that I've seen in the season 1, and Geralt is very familiar to me. It's the same kind of character, that same sort of doesn't say much personality, whilst also being just as like fearsome as he's portrayed in the show. So I think they've done a good job adapting it. So I've done an hour's worth of essay marking. And honestly, I'm actually really enjoying it. The nerd in me loves reading about what other people think of books, and this is my students responding to the book that we're studying, so that's really fun. It's just time consuming because I'm trying to give them all individual feedback, but you know, that's just part of the joy of being a teacher. But the rest of the day, I'm just going to keep working through my to-do list that you saw me create. First up being lip washing. So I just took some Bookstagram photos, so they'll be coming up over the next week as I read them and review them. But I just realised I haven't actually stamped any of the books I've read and loved yet. So here's a stamp montage. So I'm going to start watching Atypical. Let me know if you guys have seen it before and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I am really interested. The little scripture of it says, when a teen on the autism spectrum decides to get a girlfriend, his bid for more independence puts his whole family on the path of self-discovery. And there are 3 seasons out already. Let's do this!
That's what everyone says. Sometimes I don't know what people mean when they say things, and that can make me feel alone even when there are other people in the room.
One episode in, Sam, the main character with autism, is such a cutie, and I really like the conversations that are happening. Like, they're quite intense, but they show what it's like to be autistic, and I can't help but see this with a bit of a teacher hat on because it's helping me understand how I can help autistic students. But it's really cool so far. I can't really say if I recommend it or not because there's only 1 episode in, but I'm definitely liking it. Alright, so my last thing I want to do on this vlog is upgrade my little reading corner. At the moment, I only sit there sometimes. I need a... Thanks for jangling your keys a lot, babe. I only sit there sometimes, and my plan is to get like a little footstool and a comfy cushion. So came out we go. Things I want but don't need. An LED lamp in the shape of a rocket. So here's the reveal. You have our little bookshelves, and then the rocking chair and the pillows and the ottoman. I do actually have a blanket, it's just in the wash that will go over the edge there. You know what? This is actually quite comfortable. Well, I'm happy. This is actually really comfortable. The pillows are actually really nice. Okay, so that's me for this vlog. Thanks for sticking around this long. Please consider leaving a cheeky like and subscribe down below if you want to keep up to date with all of my other reading vlogs, and enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures. See you in the next video. Bye.